Hello everyone, welcome to P1 Blogs. যিখন কিতাপ পঢ়িম বুলি ভাবিলোঁ জেনেৰেল নলেজ 2025 চুপচাপ নিজৰ মতে পঢ়ি যাম, আপোনালোকেও পঢ়ক। 12টালৈকে পঢ়িব ট্ৰাই কৰিম। বাহিৰত বহুত মহ কামুৰে, সেইকাৰণে আঁঠুৱাৰ ভিতৰত বিচনাতে এনেকৈ পঢ়োঁ মই প্ৰায়। Indian history নপঢ়োঁ, Indian history নপঢ়োঁ। Geography নপঢ়োঁ। Polity নপঢ়োঁ। Economy নপঢ়োঁ। Science পঢ়িব লাগিব, science, general science। Friction. If we slide or try to slide a body over surface, the motion is resisted by putting between the body and the surface. This resistance is called frictional force. The opposite force that comes into play when one body tends to move over the surface of another body, but actually motion is yet not stored, is called static friction. The maximum value of the static frictional force always comes into play when a body just begins to slide over the surface of another body is called limiting frictional force. When the bodies actually roll over each other, as in the case of a ball bearing, the rod of friction comes into play. When the bodies actually slide over each other, sliding friction comes into play. When a body moves on the other body, then the force of friction acting between two surfaces is in contact. Relative motion is called kinetic friction. This is friction. By the possible due to friction, the transfer of within from one impact of information to other through belt is possible by friction. Break works over the friction. Friction causes however to quite surface in the test of lactic gets produced. Methods of reducing friction. By policy of application, proper selection, natural friction can reduce to some extent. Okay, there's power. Whenever the parts of running under gravitational pull carry both negative movements, which is opposite to the spectrum, when the opposite surface moving towards another opposite source, and the body is not slant paragraphs. So the forces preventing between displacement and chart force of the displacement is zero, then is zero. Whenever this move down longer to prevent the weighting half of upstream, when the cooling travels on the platform, the lot when his head and when the person does not move from his position, but he may be altering energy. Zero. The it is different than its capacity of doing work. Its unit is to energy and mechanical energy is the forms kinetic energy and potential energy. Kinetic energy is positive body by virtue its motion. Positive mass m is moving to velocity v. Kinetic energy is the linear momentum. Momentum is doubled. Kinetic energy becomes times kinetic energy of the air is used to run and moves. The energy of running water is used to run the water moves. A bullet fired from a gun can pierce a target due to its kinetic energy. If a body is moving, horizontal circle, then its kinetic energy is at all points, but if it is moving vertical circle, then the kinetic energy is different at different points. But it's energy, it is the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its position. Suppose a body is raised to height it's above the surface of the earth, then position energy of the body it's when a body is pulling downwards, then its potential energy is the substance into kinetic energy. Potential energy of the one spring of a clock is used to drive the potential energy of water then is used to run the altitude. Potential electric energy is the conservative forces. Dissipated, non-dissipative forces. Conservative force, gravitational force, electrostatic force, non-conservative forces. Dissipative forces, frictional forces, viscous force. Law of conservation of energy. According to the law of conservation of energy, it can be created or destroyed. It can only be transportable against the country. As a whole, kinetic energy is a finite system that is constant at no times. Transformation of energy. Energy and power. When a body is displaced by applying force on it, the work is said to be done. If a body is displaced by distance as a applying force on it, then the work done to occur between the force and the direction displacement. As a scalar coordinate and notice G. Was the work done? energy, gravitational force, gravity, gravitational energy. Transformation energy in heat engine energy changes the mechanical energy. Electric energy is converted into light energy in a burning coil, etc. Chemical energy changes into heat energy, and solar cells and energy changes into electric energy, and etc. Mechanical energy changes into sun energy. The microphone, sun energy changes into electric energy. The loudspeaker, electric energy changes into sun energy. And battery, chemical energy. In battery, chemical energy changes into mechanical energy. In electric motor, electrical energy changes into mechanical energy. Mechanical chemical energy changes into light energy. Power. Freedom to bring work by body is equal power. Power is equal to work done by tempting is equal to work by time. Power is equal to work by time. As the unit of power is watt per joule per second and data is a scalar quantity. Power is equal to 1 joule per second. 1 is equal to 10.3 watt. Is a factor of quantity. Simple missions is based on momentum force, lever and plane, sexual cause, etc. Simple mission, scissors, breaks of jackal, and palm, blazer, lever, first kind, nutcracker and Westcarian mission, lever of second kind, scissor, breaks of jackal, and palm, blazer, first kind, lever. Nutcracker and Westcarian mission, lever of second kind, tall man's hand, Taylor liver of third kind, Tom man's hand, Taylor liver of third kind, gravitation, and 16 standard at the universe is particle of matter hydroxy every other particles. Universally attractive forces gravitation. Gravitational force, it is always attractive in nature. It is the weakest force, but it is a long-range force. Mathematically, it is represented as F G is equal to Cm by r square, where Fg is gravitational force, G is gravitational constant, m is the mass of first particle, Mr. Subsecond particle interprets the distance between them. This is called Newton's universal law of gravitation. The below G is 7 into 10 minus 11 and minus m squared. This is gravity. There's a force by which the atom propels a body towards its center. The acceleration due to gravity is the weight increase the velocity of a body moving parallel towards the earth. It is represented by frequencies with G square when used to mean mass of the earth and raise temperatures of earth. The below G at the surface of it is 9.8 meter per second square. The earth is surrounded by a sphere of gases due to gravity. It was sphere of gases due to gravity. The value of G1 is 1/6 of that on the earth's surface. 1/6 on the earth's surface. Person and the value of gravitation when we go above the surface of the earth, the acceleration due to gravity goes on decreasing. When we go below the surface of the earth, the acceleration due to gravity goes on decreasing and becomes zero at the center of the earth, decreasing the rotational motion of earth. The value of gravitation increases when we go from the equator towards the poles. The value of gravity goes on increasing when we go from the equator towards the poles. The value of G goes on increasing. If Earth stops its rotation of that one axis, then the equator and the value of G increases. Consequently, that of body line to increases. The value of G is maximum on the surface of the earth. Center of gravity. Center of gravity of a body, the point at which the whole weight of the body appears to act. It can be inside the middle of the body or outside it. For regularly shaped body, the center of gravity lies at its symmetrical center of mass. The mass of a body is the quantity of matter contained in it, that is a scalar quantity, and as the unit is kc. Mass is measured by an ordinary equal unbalance. Mass of body does not change from place to place and remains constant. Weight. The weight of a body is the force with which it is attracted towards the center of the earth. It is a vector quantity and its SI unit is Newton. It is measured by a spring balance. It is not constant and it changes from place to place. Weight of a body in a lift. If lift is stationary or moving with uniform speed, it upward or downward is apparent how weight of a body is present. Weight of a body is equal to its true weight. If lift is going up with the acceleration, the apparent weight of a body is more than the true weight. If lift is going down with an acceleration, the apparent weight of a body is less than the true weight. If the cord of the lift is broken, then it falls freely. In the situation, the weight of a body in the lift becomes zero. It's the situation of weightlessness. While going down, if the acceleration of lift is more than acceleration due to gravity, a body in the lift goes in contact of the shelling of lift. Satellite, the heavenly body which revolves around the planet is called sunlight. One is a natural satellite of Earth. The speed of the sunlight doesn't depend on the mass of the sunlight. The sunlight revolving very close to Earth's surface has a period of revolution about 84 minutes, and its period of revolution about 84 minutes, and its speed is nearly 8 kilometers per second. Everybody said just letters in the state of wellnessness. Uh, Strong total energy of the satellite is negative. Artificial satellites are archetypes. So is the snow ray and polar satellites. So is the snow ray and polar satellites. So is the snow ray and polar satellites, two types of artificial satellites. The snow ray and polar satellites. The satellite whose time period is 24 hours is equal to the snow ray satellite. It is used to reflect televisions and telecast TV programs from one orbit to another. The satellite revolves around the Earth at a height of 36,000 kilometers. Instead to be and instead to she. Instead to she. The Justice Norris satellites of India. Instead to be and instead to she. Justice Norris satellites of India. Large satellites revolve around the polar orbits at a height of approximately 800 kilometers. The time period of these satellites is approximately 84 minutes. These satellites are used in weather forecasting and studying the region of the atmosphere, mapping, etc. Basal Service satellites or polar satellites of India. Polar satellites of India. Let's get below shitty. The maximum velocity that should be given to the body to enable it to escape out from its gravitational field is called escape velocity. Escape velocity. The acceleration due to gravity into radius of the Earth. Its value on the Earth's surface is 11.2 km per second. The value of the escape velocity of a body does not depend on its mass. Its value on the moon's surface is 28 km per second, so there is no atmosphere around the moon. There is no atmosphere around the moon. The velocity is root 2 times the orbital velocity. Satellites are launched with the escape velocity as needed. Kepler's law. All planets move around the Sun is elliptical. Orbits have the Sun at one pocky of the orbit. The aerial speed of a planet around the Sun is constant. The square of the period of revolution of any planet around the Sun is directly proportional to the cube of its mean distance from the Sun. Is 70. Quick digest that rotates on its axis from west to east. This rotation makes the Sun and the stars appear to be moving across the sky from east to west. The response of planets to gravity is called geotropism. We're able to see a live telecast of cricket matches or other programs with the help of a communication satellite, which is used to Norris satellite. Gender properties of matter. Matter, it is the substance that occupies definite space and parts which is perceptible to sense. Elasticity. It is that property of the matter of body by virtue of which of the body possesses any change in its shape or size when deforming forces are applied to it and recovers its original state as soon as the forces are removed. Steel is more elastic than rubber. Elastic limit the maximum limit of the external force up to which elasticity of the body is maintained. Plasticity, the property of a body by virtue of which it doesn't regain its original configuration. Even after the removal of deforming force is called plasticity. Putty-paraffin wigs are nearly perfectly plastic bodies. Putty and paraffin nearly plastic bodies. Stress. The internal restoring force acting per unit area of cross-section of the deformed body is called stress. Its unit is N per m square or Pascal. Strain, the sensing length, volume, shape of the body, product of the original value under the application of the deforming force is called strain. Strain is unit less quantity. Strain is unit less quantity. Hooke's law and modulus of elasticity. The ratio of stress to strain is a constant for the material length called modulus of elasticity. E is called stress by strain. Stress by strain. Oh my god. It's also called Hooke's law, which states that with the limit of elasticity, the strain produced in a body is directly proportional to the stress applied to it. Young's modulus, if strain is longitudinal, then the modulus of elasticity is called Young's modulus. Back modulus, even to the respect of uniform pressure to volume of the body changes, it is called Back modulus of elasticity, modulus of rigidity. The ratio of tangential stress to shearing strain is called modulus of rigidity. Mechanical properties of fluids. Pressure it is undefined as force acting normally on it. Area of the surface pressure is equal to normal force area. Normal force by area, pressure normal force by area. Its unit is parameter square, also called Pascal. It is scalar quantity. Pressure is a liquid is given by equal to where it is the height, b is density of the liquid, and c is acceleration due to gravity. Atmospheric pressure of 1 atm is equal to 1.01 into 10 power 5 and per meter square is equal to 760 torr. Atmospheric pressure decreases with altitude. This is why it is difficult to cook with a mountain atmospheric pressure. The fountain panel of a passenger leaks in airplane at height. Atmospheric pressure is measured by barometer. The slow rise in the barometric reading is the indication of clear weather. Then fall in barometric reading is the indication of storm. Slow fall is barometric reading is the indication of rain. Density and relative density. The density of a substance P is defined as the ratio of its mass to its volume. Density is equal to mass by volume is kg per m cube. Density of water is maximum at 4 degrees Celsius. The relative density is defined as the ratio of the density of the substance to the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius. Relative density is equal to density of substance, density of water at 4 degrees Celsius. Density of substance, density of water at 4 degrees Celsius. Relative density has no unit. Relative density is measured by a hydrometer. Ice floats on water surface as its density 92 c centimeter cube is lesser than the density of water 1 gram per centimeter cube. The density of human body is less than the density of water, but the density of head is greater than the density of water. And the density of human body is less than the density of water. The density of head is greater than the density of water. Therefore, during swimming, a person displaces the water with hands and legs, and thus total weight of displaced water becomes equal to the weight of the body. If ice floating in water in a vessel melts, the level of water in the vessel does not change. The density of seawater is more than that of normal water. This explains why it is easy to swim in seawater. Pascal's law. The pressure exerts the pressure exists anywhere at a point of confined fluid is transmitted equally and undiminished in all directions throughout the liquid. Hydraulic lift, hydraulic press, hydraulic brake work on the basis of Pascal's law. Buoyancy. The upward force exerted by a fluid on the immersed body is called buoyant force or upthrust. The thrust acts at the center of gravity of the liquid displaced by the submerged part of the body, that is called the center of buoyancy. When force depends on the density of the fluid and not on the density of body and acts on center of gravity of displaced fluid. Archimedes' principle. When a solid body is immersed wholly or partially in a liquid, then there is some apparent loss in its weight. This loss in weight is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced by the body, law of flotation. Whenever a solid body is dipped into a fluid, the fluid exerts force of buoyancy. If the force of buoyancy equals to the weight of the solid will remain in equilibrium. This is called flotation. The density of if density of material of body is equal to density of liquid, the body floats fully submerged in liquid in neutral equilibrium. When body floats in neutral equilibrium, the weight of the body is equal to the weight of displaced liquid. The center of gravity of the body and center of gravity of the displaced liquid should be one vertical line for the condition. Surface tension that is it is the force acting normal to an unit length of an imaginary line drawn on the surface of liquid is equal to empathy. Its unit is N per m. Cohesive force, it is the intermolecular force of attraction acting between the molecules of the same substance. Adhesive force, it is the intermolecular force of attraction acting between the molecules of different substance. The surface tension decreases with rise in temperature when it becomes zero at critical temperature. Due to the surface tension, raindrops are spherical. Warm soap is tested because at high temperature its surface tension is low and the subsequent soap spreads on all part of the tank. When kerosene oil is sprinkled on water, its surface tension decreases. Some phenomena based on surface tension. Small drops of mercury are spherical, while large ones are flat. Small drops of mercury are spherical, while large ones. There is a surface tension, permission of lead salts, flotation of needle on water. Flotation of needle on water. Oh, needles float on water. How? Needle floats on water. Nay, I never knew about it. Dancing of camphor on water. Bigger bubbles can be formed from the sharp shoulder easily than from water. Detergent helps detergent helps in cleaning the clothes. Detergent helps implement the clothes capillarity. Capillary tube, a long glass tube of very a very fine hair like pore is called capillary tube. The phenomenon of a flow of liquids in a capillary tube is called capillarity. The liquids which weight glass and whereas the angle of contact is equally acute, raise up the capillary tube, while those which do not weight glass for which the angle of contact is obtuse or fall down in the capillary tube. Note the angle of contact is 0 for pure water and clean glass it is 90 degree water and silver 8 degree for ordinary water and glass and 130 degree for mercury and glass. Some practical examples of capillarity: decoration well in a lantern and melted wax in a candle, resin the capillaries pumped in the cotton wick and thus they are bound. A writing nib is split in the middle so that the fine capillary is pumped in it when it is dipped in ink and the ink rises in the capillary. The water given to the fields raises it. Rubber capillaries pumped in the stems of plants and trees and reaches the branches and the leaves. The primers plough the fields after rain so that the capillaries formed in the soil are broken and the water remains in the lower layers of the soil. Viscosity. It is the property of the liquid by virtue of which it possesses the related motion between its adjacent layers. Viscosity of an ideal fluid is zero. It is the property of the liquid by virtue of which it possesses the relative motion between its adjacent layers. Oh my god, this isn't going to happen like this. Oh my god. Liquids and gases. With rising temperatures, viscosity of liquids decreases and that of gases increases. Viscosity of gases is much less than that of liquids. Viscosity of liquid increases with increasing pressure. Viscosity of a fluid is measured by its coefficient of viscosity. Its SI unit is and Pascal second. The velocity when a body falls in a viscous medium, its velocity first increases and finally becomes constant. This constant velocity is called terminal velocity. Terminal velocity of a spherical body falling in a viscous medium is proportional to the square of radius of the body. When a liquid flows through a pipe, its speed is maximum near axis and minimum near the walls of the pipe. According to the equation of continuity, the speed of fluid flow becomes faster in a pipe streamline flow or steady flow. In this flow velocity at every point in the fluid will remain constant. Turbulent flow. In this flow, the speed of water is quite high. Then the flow becomes irregular. Critical velocity, the limiting velocity of a liquid above which flow will become turbulent. Principle of continuity for a flow between 2 points having area of cross section A1 and A2, and the velocity is P1 and P2 between 2 points AB is equal to constant. A1 P1 is equal to A2 P2. Bernoulli's theorem. Bernoulli's theorem when an incompressible and non-viscous liquid or gas flows in streamlined motion from one place to another, then at every point of each path, the total energy per unit volume pressure energy plus kinetic energy plus potential energy remains constant. P plus PCH plus half PV square is also constant. Where P pressure, P that is sorry, it's not P. Density of fluid, P. The velocity of flow is the height of the tube of flow. Penturimeter, pilot tube, Bunsen's burner, atomizer, filter, pump, and Magnus effect are based on the Bernoulli's theorem. Simple harmonic motion. If a body moves to and fro on a straight line without a fixed position, then its motion is called simple harmonic motion. When a particle executing as it passes through the mean position, then no force acts on the particle. Velocity is maximum, acceleration is zero, kinetic energy is maximum, potential energy is zero. When a particle executing as its is at the extreme end, and velocity of particle is zero, acceleration of the particle is maximum, kinetic energy of particle is zero, potential energy is maximum. Restoring force acting on the particle is maximum, not case of spring block system. The restoring force F is equal to minus kx, where x is displacement of the block from any position and the case spring constant. In case of spring block system, time period of oscillation is given by this equal to 2 pi root m by k, where m is mass of the block. Periodic motion. Animation always repeats itself after a regular interval of time is called for harmonic motion, and the period of repetition is called time period. Motion of hands of a clock, motion of Earth around the sun, motion of the needle of a sewing machine are the examples of periodic motion. Oscillatory motion. If a particle repeats its motion after a regular time intervals about a fixed point, motion is said to be oscillatory or vibratory. Motion of piston is in an automobile engine. Motion of balance wheel of a watch are the examples of oscillatory motion. Simple pendulum. It is a heavy point mass suspended from a rigid supported by means of an elastic, inextensible string. Time period of simple pendulum 2 pi over length of pendulum by acceleration due to gravity, where L is the length of simple pendulum and G is the acceleration due to gravity. The maximum time period of a simple pendulum is 84.6 minutes. The pendulum clock goes slow in summer and fast in winter. If a simple pendulum is suspended in a lift and descended down with acceleration, then time period of pendulum would increase. If a lift is ascending, then time period of pendulum would decrease. If a lift falling freely under gravity, then the time period of the pendulum will be infinite. At the moment, the time period of simple pendulum increases because acceleration due to gravity at the moment decreases. Resonance. It is a phenomenon that occurs when a vibrating system or external force drives another system to oscillate with greater amplitude at a specific preferential frequency with motion. Waves. A wave is a disturbance which propagates energy from one place to the other without the transport of matter. Uh, these are of two types: mechanical waves, electromagnetic waves. Mechanical waves, the waves which require material medium, soil, material medium, solid, liquid, or gas. Mechanical waves. For their propagation are called mechanical waves or elastic waves. These are of two types: longitudinal waves, transverse waves. Longitudinal waves. If the particles of the medium vibrate in the direction of propagation of a wave motion, wave is called longitudinal waves on spring or sound waves or in air are examples of longitudinal waves. Transverse waves. It is particle where the particles of the medium vibrates perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. The wave is called transverse waves on strings. Under tension, waves over the surface of water are examples of transverse waves. Electromagnetic waves. So mechanical waves and the electromagnetic waves. Two types of waves are there. The wave which do not require medium for their propagation, which can propagate even though the vacuum, are called electromagnetic wave. They propagate as transverse wave. The wavelength range of electromagnetic wave is 10 power minus 4 m to 10 power 4 m. Guided rays, canal rays, that is alpha rays, beta rays are not electromagnetic waves. Light and heat waves are examples of electromagnetic waves. Important terms related to waves. Amplitude, maximum displacement of a vibrating particle of medium from its main position is called amplitude. Phase, the position of a point time instant on wave from form cycle. Wavelength is the distance between any two nearest particles of the medium vibrating in the same phase. Frequency of vibration of a particle is defined as the number of vibrations completed by the particle in 1 second. Frequency f, 1 by time period. Velocity of wave, frequency into wavelength. Sound wave. Sound wave. It is longitudinal mechanical waves. The longitudinal mechanical waves which lie in the range 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz are called audible or sound waves. 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz, audible or sound waves. These are sensitive to human ear. The longitudinal mechanical waves having frequencies less than 20 hertz called infrasonic. Less than 20 hertz is called infrasonic. Um, these are produced by earthquakes, volcanic eruption, ocean waves, and elephants and whales. That is infrasonic, less than 20 hertz. The longitudinal mechanical waves having frequencies greater than 20,000 hertz are called ultrasonic waves. 20,000 hertz are called ultrasonic waves. Human ear cannot detect ultrasonic waves, but when creatures like dog, cat, bat, mosquito can detect these waves, but produce ultrasonic waves. Bat produce ultrasonic waves. Ultrasonic waves are used for sending signals measuring the depth of sea, cleaning clothes, and machinery parts of clock, removing lamp shot from chimney of factories, and in ultrasonography. Speed of sound. Speed of sound is maximum in solids and minimum in gases. Speed of sound is maximum in solids and minimum in gases. Speed of sound is maximum in solids and minimum in gases. Speed of sound in air is 332 meter per second in water. 332 meter per second in water. 332 meter per second in water. In water, in air. In air is 332 meter per second. In water is 1483 meter per second. In iron is 5,103 meter per second. Speed of sound basically depends upon elasticity and density of medium. When sound enters from one medium to another medium, its speed and wavelength changes, but frequency remains unchanged. Speed of sound remains unchanged by the increase or decrease of pressure. The speed of sound increases with the with the increase in temperature of the medium. The speed of sound in air increases by 0.61 meter per second when the temperature is increased by 1 degree Celsius. The speed of sound is more in humid air than in dry air because the density of humid air is less than the density of dry air. The speed of sound in air is very slower as compared to the speed of light in air. Therefore, in rainy season, the place of lightning is seen first and the sound of thunder is heard a little later. The speed of sound in a medium is given by V is equal to root of E by, that is U, where E is small, shady of the medium, then shady, that is gases, is equal to specifications. Characteristics of sound waves. Characteristics of sound waves. Intensity. Intensity of sound at any point in space is defined as amount of energy passing normally per unit area held around that point per unit time. As a unit of intensity is W per m square. Intensity of sound at a point is inversely proportional to the square of the distance away from the source and directly proportional to square of amplitude, vibration, square of frequency, and intensity of the medium. Loudness depends on intensity as well as upon the sensitivity of the ear. Pitch. It is that characteristic of sound which distinguishes a subsound from a grave. Sound pitch depends upon frequency and the sound waves. The pitch of female voice is higher than the pitch of male voice. The pitch of sound produced by roaring of a lion is lower, where the pitch of sound produced by mosquito whisper is high. Quality. The characteristic of sound which enables us to distinguish between sounds produced by two sources have the same intensity and pitch. Shock waves. A body moving with supersonic speed in air leaves behind the conical region of disturbance which spreads continuously. Such disturbance is called shock wave. These waves carry huge energy and may even make cracks in wind panes. Shock waves. The speed of supersonic wave is measured in Mach number. One Mach number is the ratio of speed of source to the speed of sound. A Mach number that is greater than 1 body is called supersonic. If Mach number greater than 5 body is called hypersonic. If Mach number that is less than 1 body is said to be moving with subsonic speed. Reflection of sound wave. When sound waves depends on any rigid surface, it returns to its original medium. This is called reflection of sound wave. Echo. The repetition of sound due to reflection of sound waves is called an echo. To hear echo, the minimum distance between the observer and the reflector should be 15.2 meters. Persistence of ear is 1/10 second. 1/10 second. Minimum distance would be 17.2 meters to get an echo. Persistence of ear is 1/10 second. At the moment, echo is not heard due to absence of atmosphere. Group soldiers on a bridge are advised not to work in steps because their movement causes the bridge to vibrate. If they work in step, the frequency of vibration may match the natural frequency of the bridge structure and thus causing resonance. This resonance of frequency can cause the bridge to collapse. When a gun is fired at a peaceable distance, the sound had a little after the smoke is seen because the velocity of light is much higher than that of sound. Sonar. It stands for sound navigation and ranging. It is used to measure the depth of a ship, to locate an enemy submarines, and shipwrecks. The transmitter of sonar produces pulses of ultrasonic sound waves of frequency of about 50,000 hertz. The reflected sound waves are received by the receiver. Doppler's effect. If there is a relative motion between source and sound and observer, the apparent frequency of sound heard by the observer is different from the actual frequency of sound emitted by the source. This phenomenon is called Doppler's effect. When the distance between the source and the observer decreases, the apparent frequency increases and vice versa. Uses by police to check our speeding of vehicles that is used Doppler's effect in it. At airport to guide the aircraft. The study heartbeats and blood flow in different parts of the body. Heat. Heat is a form of energy which flows from hotter to colder body by virtue of temperature difference. It is due to the kinetic energy of the molecules constituting the body. Its units are calories, kilocalorie, or joule. 1 calorie is equal to 4.18 joule. 1 kilocalorie, that is 1000 calorie. Temperature. It is the measurement of hotness or coldness of a body. An instrument used to measure the temperature of a body is called a thermometer. The normal temperature of a human body is 37 degrees Celsius or 98.4 degrees Fahrenheit. 98.4 degrees Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius. Minus 40 degrees Celsius, 40 degrees the temperature at which Celsius and Fahrenheit temperatures reach him. Minus 40 degrees Celsius. Temperature at which Celsius and Fahrenheit, Fahrenheit and Celsius thermometers read the same. The clinical thermometer reads from 96 degree Fahrenheit to 110 degree Fahrenheit. Clinical. Triple point is the state at which all the three states of matter coexist. The triple point of water is 273.16 calorie. Scales of temperature measurement. 0.5 is equal to F minus 32 minus R by 4 minus K minus 273 by 4. The temperature at which Celsius and the Reaumur scale and with the HM is 0. Freezing point of mercury is minus 30 degrees Celsius. Mercury is get freeze at minus 39 degrees Celsius. 39 degrees Celsius mercury is freeze. Hence, to measure temperature below the temperature alcohol thermometer is used. Freezing point of alcohol is 115 degrees Celsius. 115 degrees Celsius. Pyrometer. Parameter measures the temperature of a body by measuring the radiation emitted by the body. It cannot measure temperature below 800 degrees Celsius because at low temperature emission of radiation is very small and cannot be detected. Specific heat. It is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of a unit mass of the substance by 1 degree Celsius. Its unit is joule per kg minus degree Celsius. It is given by S is equal to Q by when M is the mass, Q is the amount of heat given to the substance, and temperature. Specific heat of water is 4200 joule kg minus minus 1 degree Celsius minus 1, which is high in comparison to most water substances. Therefore, water is used as coolant and radiator of vehicle. For substances, the specific heat increases with rise in the temperature and assumes a constant value at high temperature. The specific heat of water, however, decreases with rise in temperature from 0 degrees Celsius upward 4 degrees Celsius after which it increases with temperature. Mercury has low specific heat, latent heat of vaporization. It is the amount of heat required to sense the phase of the substance at constant temperature. Hot water burns less severe than the steam burns because steam has high latent heat. Fusion of ice is 80 calories per gram. Latent heat of vaporization of steam is 36. Its SI unit is Kg. Ice at 0 degrees Celsius appears colder than that water at 0 degrees Celsius. Ice at 0 degrees Celsius appears colder than the water at 0 degrees Celsius because the ice takes more heat. Molar heat capacity at constant pressure. It is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 mole of gas by 1 K at constant pressure. Molar heat capacity at constant volume. It is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 mole of gas by 1 K volume. Cp minus Cp is equal to R. Mears relation, where R is gas constant, is equal to 1 kilomole minus 1 K minus 1. Thermodynamics. Direct law of thermodynamics. If two bodies A and B are separately in thermal equilibrium with the third body C, then A and B will be in thermal equilibrium with each other. First law of thermodynamics: the amount of heat given to a system is used up in two ways. First, to increase the internal energy, and second, to do the external work. dq is equal to du internal energy plus dw work. That is second law of thermodynamics. The second law of thermodynamics is the outcome of human experience under which heat energy can be converted into mechanical energy. Calvin Planck's statement: it is impossible to construct a device which cycle that will take heat from a body and convert it completely into the work without producing any other effect. Closest statement: it is impossible to construct a self-acting device which operates a cycle that will transfer heat from a cold body to a hot body without expenditure of work. Change in entropy at temperature T when the acute amount of heat exceeds this much. Oh, thermal expansion, it is the increase in size of the body on heating. Actually, it can undergo three types of thermal expansions: linear expansion, expansion in length; superficial expansion, expansion in area; cubical expansion, expansion in volume. Not almost every liquid expands with the increase in temperature, but when temperature of water is increased from 0 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius, each volume decreases after each volume decreases. After this, its volume increases. After 4 degrees Celsius, if it is increased in temperature, then its volume increases. Okay. Relation between the coefficient of linear, superficial, and cubical expansions. 1, 2, 3. Practical applications of thermal expansions. Telephone wires are given enough gap to allow the wires for contraction in winter. An ordinary pendulum clock runs faster in winter but slower in summer, and because in summer the length of pendulum increases. In summer, length of pendulum increases, while in winter it decreases. In the construction of brace ends of steel girders are not fixed but placed on rolls to allow free expansion and contraction in summer and winter respectively to avoid any damage to the brace. A gap is provided between the iron rails of the railway track so that the rails can easily expand during summer and do not bend. Humidity. Okay, now humidity. The amount of water vapor in air is called as humidity. The amount of water vapor present in 1 meter cube air is called its absolute humidity. The ratio of amount of water vapor actually present in a certain volume of air at a given temperature to the amount of water vapor regard to saturate it is called relative humidity. Relative humidity is measured by hygrometer. Relative humidity increases with the increase of temperature. Transmission of heat, transfer of heat from one place to other place is called transmission of heat. There are three processes by which transmission of heat takes place: conduction, convection, radiation. Transmission of heat, convection, and radiation. Conduction. In this process, heat is transferred without actual movement of the particles of medium. In this process, path of heat transfer in regular in solid transmission of heat takes place by conduction process. Mercury to a liquid is heated by conduction and not by convection. Convection. In this process, heat is transferred by the actual movement of particles of the medium due to a difference in density of different parts of the medium. In liquid and gases, transmission of heat takes place by convection process. This process is also slow. The chimney used in kitchen or in factories based on the convection. In rooms, ventilators are provided to escape the hot air by the process of convection. Radiation. It is the quickest way of transmission of heat in which there is no need of medium for transfer of heat. Heat from the sun reaches the earth by radiation. In this process, heat is transferred at the speed of light. Kirchhoff's law signifies that good observers good absorbers or good emitters. If if a if a shiny metal ball with some blank spot on its surface is heated to a high temperature, the shiny ball becomes dark, but the black spot shines brilliantly because black spot absorbs radiation during heat and emit in dark. Perfectly black body. A perfectly black body is one which absorbs completely all the radiations falling on its surface, whatever be the wavelength. Note, since a perfectly black body is a perfect absorber, hence equal to Kirchhoff's law, it will also be a perfect radiator. Stefan's law. The radiant energy emitted by unit area, the perfectly black body per unit time is directly proportional to the pot power of its absolute temperature. That is where okay, Newton's law of cooling. The rate of loss of heat by body is directly proportional to the difference in temperature between the body and its surrounding. Cooking utensils are made of aluminum, brass, and steel because these substances have low specific heat and high conductivity. In deserts, the temperature are very high and the temperature are extremely low because the specific heat of sand is very low. Therefore, it the specific heat of sand is very low. Therefore, it absorbs the heat readily, and its temperature ranges by a large degree during the day, and it sand radiates the heat equally uh, readily, making the temperature lows. Human breath is visible in winter, but not in summer, because air, in winter air is cold, and so water vapors present in the human breath condense. Air is cold, and so water vapors present in the human breath condense, making it visible. Making it visible. Oh my God. A thick glass tumbler often cracks. Very hot liquid is put into it because the inner surface of the thick glass tumbler coming in contact with the hot liquid expands more in comparison with the outer surface, which has relatively lower temperature. This unequal expansion of inner and outer surfaces causes the tumbler to crack. Water from a hand pump is warm in winter and cold in summer because outer temperature is low, and in summer outer temperature is higher uh, as compared to the temperature of water obtained from underground with hands, which remains practically unsensed due to earth being bad conductor of heat. Light. It is the radiation which makes our eyes able to see the object. Its speed is 3 into 10 power 8 meter per sec. It is the form of energy. It is a transverse wave. It takes 8 minutes 19 seconds to reach on the earth from the sun. 8 minutes 19 seconds from the earth to from the sun to the earth. Light takes time 8 minutes 19 seconds. The light reflected from moon takes 1.28 seconds to reach earth. It represents the phenomenon of reflection, refraction, interference. This diffraction, scattering, and polarization. A reflection from that is Stephen slow perfect black body light. A spherical, there's a lot of cooling. For example, light, reflection of light and the return of light into the same medium after striking a surface is called reflection. The return of light into the same medium after striking a surface is called reflection. Laws of reflection. There are two laws of reflection. The angle of incidence. The angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. The the incident ray, normal length, reflected ray, or light at the same plane at point of incidence. Reflection from plane mirror. Size of image is always equal to size of object. The image in a plane mirror appears as per behind the mirror or as the object is in front of it. If the object is displaced by a distance towards or away from the mirror, then its image will be displaced by a distance towards or away from the mirror. The minimum size of the mirror requires to see the full image of an observer is half the height of the observer. If the plane mirror is rotated in the plane of incidence by an angle theta, then the reflected ray rotates by an angle to theta. Focal length of plane mirror is infinity. Probed plane mirror is 0. Linear magnification produced by plane mirror is 1. When the plane mirrors are kept facing each other at an angle and an object is placed between them, then the number of images n is equal to 360 degree by minus 1. That is over then symmetrically number of images that is reflection at spherical surface. Spherical mirrors are the mirrors in which reflecting surface light is spherical. There are two types of spherical mirrors: convex mirror and concave mirror. Mirror formula is given, that is 1 by p plus 1 by is equal to p object distance, that is u, the p image distance, f focal length of the mirror, magnification object distance, image distance, focal length of the mirror, magnification length height of image by length height of object, minus p by u. Image formation by concave mirror. Position of object. At infinity, position of image, size of image, nature of image. At infinity, at f, that is highly diminished, real and inverted. Between infinity and c, between f and c, that is diminished, real and inverted. At c, that is same size, real and inverted. Between f and c, between infinity and c, enlarged, inverted. At f, that is at infinity, highly enlarged, real and inverted. Between f and p, behind the mirror, enlarged, virtual and erect. Where c is center of curvature, p is pole of the mirror, and f is focus. Image formation by convex mirror. Position of object at infinity, at f, highly diminished, erect and virtual. Between infinity and pole, between f, p, diminished, erect and virtual. Where f is focus, p is pole, and c is center of curvature. Oh my god. is going to be over. Twinkle of stars is based upon refraction. Due to refraction, rivers appear shallow. When in a beaker filled with water appears raised partially, the beaker appears broken at sunset and sunrise. Due to refraction, sun appears above horizon while it is actual below horizon. The duration of the day appears to be increased by nearly 4 minutes due to atmospheric refraction. Written on a paper appears lifted when a glass slab is placed over the paper. The refractive index of a medium is maximum for violet color of light and the maximum for red color of light. Refractive index decreases with rise in the temperature. Okay, total thermal reflection. This will be for tomorrow, but today it is over because. Okay, bye everyone. No. Let it be 2 hours, okay? Some people commented here. Ooh. I didn't respond to them. So I think now I should respond to them. How to respond? Mr. Paul, start a question and answer. I'm sweating, guys. Look on my. When did you clear your degree in dark art? Kusigras Pung say hi. Kusigras say hi. Are you solving questions? No, I'm reading book. And what are you studying, bro? I was studying science. Nilot Paul Bosometry ki puriasa. Science puriasilu, bro. The place on Kid STV said hi. Nilot Paul Moto Hujuri hi. Hi everyone. Nilot Paul Moto Hujuri. Kyo kandisilu bro. Hahoh nehuru aba. Yes bro, অলপ দুখ লাগিছিল কেতিয়াবা মাজে মাজে বহুত বেছি দুখ লাগি যায় উপায় নাই আৰু কেতিয়াবা মানুহৰ মানে মনটো সদায় একে নাথাকে কেতিয়াবা চেঞ্জ হৈ যায় হাই ব্ৰো নীলোৎপল হুজুৰি হাই so very much for supporting this much for today. I better bid you bye guys. See you tomorrow again and good night. Have a good sleep. How to do these things? I'm not knowing unlisted video. That is what it does. And what is this? Oh my god. This is like the messages. Oh, P messages. What are they? Oh my god. No. What? I didn't have to report. Remove unpinned message. Oh. Signal activity. At the moderator put user in time. Oh. My god. Oh my god, what did I do just now? Oh no. I need to do something like that. Let's drop all the question and answer. This shouldn't be like this. Also want to stop streaming? Okay, I want to stop it now. Bye bye.